What you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths in Texas during the 1970s. For them, an idyllic summer afternoon drive became a nightmare. The events of that day were to lead to the discovery of one of the most bizarre crimes in the annals of American history, a scene of mass murder which became known as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Hello everyone, this is Keith from the Solo Gamers Club, and welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to learn how to play a game from Trick or Treat Studios called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We begin the setup by laying out the game board. The game board depicts the Slaughter family property, including the residence, the diner, and other pertinent locations on the property. Player characters begin the game at the van. We've run out of gas and we've somehow lost the keys. In order to win the game, we're going to have to find 2 cans of gas, locate the keys, and complete our individual objective. I've randomly selected 3 characters to begin the game. Our first player is going to be Jerry. His special ability is when Jerry draws a Slaughter family token, he may return it back to the bag and draw again, once per turn. Second character will be Pam. Her special action is when Pam reveals a token, she may look at it and swap it with another token on the board without looking at it. The new token goes into the bag. Then we have Franklin. His special ability is he can draw 2 search cards, choose one, and put the other card on the top of the search deck. We take all 7 of the character standees and place them at the van. Then we take our 4 Slaughter family standees, we place the 3 of them on the board, which include Grandpa, Cook, and Hitchhiker. We take the Leatherface token and place that in the killing room. Then we take the truck standee and place it on the first space of the road track, and that's in the upper left space of the road on the game board. Then we take the hideous draw bag and place that near the game board. The game comes with 54 scavenge tokens, and we're going to begin by separating out 3 Leatherface tokens, 4 Bones tokens, and 2 action tokens. We're going to place those into the draw bag and randomize those. And we're going to turn over all of the remaining scavenge tokens face down. We'll randomize those, and then we place them one on each of the circular spaces on the game board. We take the Enraged token and place that near Leatherface's portrait on the Slaughter family board. We take 19 search cards, shuffle those, and place them face down in a draw pile. And we do the same with the death cards. There are 9 objective cards, and we're going to be using those in this playthrough. I've decided to play with a difficulty level of 3, so we'll be drawing 3 cards from the objective deck. And we're going to give one to Jerry, one to Pam, and one to Franklin. Jerry's objective is revealed to be, who wants barbecue? Get to the diner with one other character. Pam's objective will be the old house. Collect the token from the stairs in the Slaughter family's house. And finally, Franklin's objective will be surprisingly bloodless. Finish the game with one or less blood splatter on your character. Now we take the 3 windows tokens and 3 door tokens and place those in the designated spaces at the Slaughter family house. Then we take the 20 blood splatter markers and place those in a container near the board for easy access. And finally, we take the token tray. We place that near our first player, and we'll be moving that token tray next to each player card as the game progresses, and that tells us whose turn it is. And we're ready to begin play. Now the game has 2 different modes of play. There's the standard game and a solo mode. We're going to be playing the standard game, but we'll be playing with 3 characters. The solo mode plays very much like the standard game, except that we're not allowed to draw any replacement characters if one dies. If one character dies in the solo mode, we've lost the game. We'll begin play with Jerry. He has the barbecue tray next to him to indicate that he is the active player. And on a turn, it's very simple. As long as we don't have 3 blood spaces filled on our card, we're able to take 2 free move actions. Now the object of the game is, in a 3-player game, we have to get 2 gas cans and the keys and return back to the van in order to escape. Now, as we're using the objective cards, we also have to solve our objectives as well to win the game. We're going to lose the game if ever 3 characters are placed on the meat hooks in the killing room. Now, we know that Jerry's objective is to get to the diner with 1 other character, so we'll probably try to get Jerry towards the diner in this initial movement. So I think what we're going to do then is we're going to take Jerry's move actions. And we'll use those move actions to get Jerry towards the diner. So he'll move from the place in the van. He'll move 1 into the road and 2 into that space on the board. Now whenever you encounter a space on the board with an unresolved token, we're able to flip that over and that token will go into the barbecue tray. None of the tokens are activated when you draw them from the board, only when we draw them out of the bag. The exception is if we reveal the gas or the keys. We can place those on the available space on our character map. So Jerry has moved his 2 spaces and we'll reveal that token. And the token is a pile of bones. All right, so we'll place that into the barbecue tray. Now Jerry has landed in a space that are brambles, and it says if he ends his movement in a bramble space, he's going to take 1 blood splatter. So we want to try to get some draws from the bag that will help us to get player actions that will allow us to move or to push or search or pick up. Those are the possible player actions. So our sequence of play is very simple as well. Each player's turn, we're going to move, where we'll take up to our 2 free move actions as long as we don't have all 3 of our blood spaces filled. Then we can draw tokens from the bag. And we're able to keep drawing those until we have drawn 3 matching non-action tokens. Then we're able to, if we drew any action tokens, we can perform the actions now, and then we would do a cleanup phase. Now if we don't, we're not required to draw any tokens from the draw bag, but if we don't, Leatherface is going to move. Leatherface's movement is determined by the leftmost position on that board. So in this case, at the beginning of the game, Leatherface has a movement of 1 space. But eventually, after tokens are placed on these, it'll become movements of 3, and then eventually his attack strength will go up as well. He'll be doing more wounds to us if he is able to move to the space that we have a character on. And now it's Jerry's draw phase. He can draw as many tokens as he wants, but as soon as he gets 3 of the same kind of non-action tokens, he has to stop. Now when we're drawing these tokens out of the bag, they have certain effects. Alright, Jerry is going to draw. He's hoping to get some action tokens. So he'll draw his first token, and he gets bones. Okay, bones have no effect other than if we draw a third bones. Okay, here's his second draw, and he gets another bones. Okay, so if we get a third bones, he has to stop drawing. Here's his next draw. We're hoping to get an action token, and he gets an action token. That's great. Now, for every action token we get, we're able to take 1 action, which would be those things that we discussed earlier about moving or searching or pushing, etc. Now we'd like to get at least 1 more, because if Jerry moves 1 space, he would still be on a brambles space, and we don't want him to take any wounds, of course. So we'll continue to draw. We'll take a risk. Here's the next one, and we get a Leatherface. All right, Leatherface, it says when drawn, Leatherface moves toward the closest player. If he enters a player's space, they receive blood splatter according to his threat level. Well, we know Leatherface's threat level right now is a move of 1 and 1 damage. So he's going to move towards the nearest character. He'll move into the metal door. Now if 3 Leatherface tokens come out of the bag, that will also end our turn for draws, but that's going to be, then we will have to place 1 of those on the display, and that's going to make Leatherface faster and stronger. We're going to try another draw, hoping to get a action token. Okay, here is the draw, and we've got our third bones. So that is going to end our draw phase, but we do have 1 action token. So we're going to have Jerry move 1 more space. Now he's still in a brambles, so we can reveal this token, and that is an eye. Okay, now an eye token, when it's revealed from the board, has no effect. None of the tokens, when they're revealed on the board, have any effects, only when they're drawn from the bag, the exception being the gas or the key tokens. So now that is going to end Jerry's turn. Now unfortunately he's in a brambles. He's ended his move there, so we're going to have to place a blood splatter token on his card. So we place a blood splatter token on Jerry's card, and if he gets 2 more of those, then he's going to lose his free movement actions at the beginning of his turn. So that ends Jerry's draw phase, and what we do then is we take the barbecue tray and we place all of the tokens that have been revealed into the tray, and then we place all of these tokens back into the draw bag, and that's how we build that draw bag. Now we kind of know what's roughly in this bag as we collect tokens and we place them in the bag. We kind of know what's in there, and that kind of tells us the probability of what we can expect when we're drawing. All right, that is going to complete Jerry's turn. We'll move on to Pam. So we move the barbecue tray down to Pam, and then now she can take her 2 free moves. Now her special ability is when Pam reveals a token, she may look at it and swap it with another token on the board without looking at it. The new token goes into the bag. All right, so that's kind of a good, powerful ability for her. She'd be good at exploring, I think, so we'll probably try to get her towards the house. Her action is that she has to collect the token, or her objective, I should say, is to collect the token from the stairs in the Slaughter family's house. So we'll try to move her towards that location. So Pam's going to take her 2 move actions. She'll go 1 and 2, entering the brambles, and she can reveal this token. Now that's gas. So she's found the gas, and that's one of the 2 gas cans that we need, and we'll place that on her character board. That is great. So we place the gas can on the character board, and that's one of the 2 gas cans we need. Now we just need to get another gas can and the keys, and then solve our objectives. So Pam is going to start her draw phase, and we'll see if we can get her a couple of action tokens. Here's her first draw. And she gets, unfortunately, Leatherface. So Leatherface is going to move 1 space towards the nearest character, and the nearest character is going to be Jerry, so he'll move into the hall. Now when Leatherface moves through either a door or window, he breaks it. So that is a broken door now. And when the characters attempt to move through a broken door, they're going to gain a blood splatter, so we don't want that to happen. I think Pam will continue on. We'll risk it. And she draws another Leatherface. Leatherface is going to move 1 more space towards Jerry, busting out the front door in the process. Not good. And I think Pam is going to end her phase. If we were to draw another Leatherface token, that would go on the Slaughter family board, and that's going to increase Leatherface's capabilities. So we are going to end the turn. We'll place those 2 tokens into the barbecue container, and then those tokens will all go back into the bag. And unfortunately, Pam has ended her turn on a bramble space, so she's going to take a blood token. So we have to place a blood token on Pam, and that's going to end her turn. We'll move on now to Franklin. Franklin is up, so we'll move the barbecue tray to his character card, and he's able to take his free move actions. Now Franklin has a special ability. It says that when he draws 2 search cards, he can choose one and put the other card on the top of the search deck. So he's very good at searching. Now we have to be careful with Franklin. His objective is to finish the game with 1 or less blood splatters on his character. Now the search action can be performed on any named space on the board. As an example, this graveyard. When you're in that location, the character is able to perform a search action. So we'll probably try to get Franklin to the graveyard. Now since Franklin's objective is to finish the game with 1 or less blood splatters on his character, we're going to probably try to keep Franklin away from, obviously, from Leatherface. So he's going to take his 2 move actions, 1 and 2, and he'll end up in the same space as Pam. And now he's going to do his draw phase. And we're hoping to get Franklin a couple of actions so that he can move off of that bramble space. Here's his first draw, and he gets bones. Okay, so no problem with that yet. Here's the next draw, and he gets more bones. So if he gets another bones, we have to end his draw. We'll try another draw and see if we can get some actions. We did. We got an action token. That's good. I think I'll try to get him 1 more. So draw again. And we did. We've got the 2 actions, so we're going to stop there. Franklin will be able to undertake 2 additional actions, and I'll have him move. He's going to move 1 space into here, revealing the token, which is a Slaughter family token. Now that has no effect because we're drawing that from the board, but when that's drawn from the bag, we have to place that on the Slaughter family chart, and we will eventually start filling up those positions on the board, and new characters will be introduced: Grandpa, the cook, and the hitchhiker. Okay, Franklin has 1 more action, and we'll move him here, and he reveals it to be another Slaughter family token. That's not good. All right, Franklin is going to end his turn. He's not on a brambles, so he won't have to worry about taking any wounds. We'll take these tokens and place them in the draw bag. And now it is back to Jerry. He has 1 wound right now, and he's attempting to get to the diner with another character. So I think we'll have Jerry move towards the northwest, getting some space between him and Leatherface. So he's going to move 1, revealing that token, which is a pictures. Okay, now that has no effect when it's drawn from the board, but it says when drawn from the bag, you look at the top card of the search deck. You may choose to move it to the top or bottom of the deck. If ever you draw a 3 from the draw bag, you may take the top search card and then end your turn. All right, so that is going to go into the barbecue tray. And for his second movement, he'll move into this space here, and he reveals an action token. That's great. So we'll place that in the barbecue tray. All right, now Jerry can make his draws. And we'll have him pull a token from the bag. And he gets Leatherface. So Leatherface is going to move towards the nearest character. And we'll count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4 to Jerry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to Franklin. So he'll be moving one space towards Jerry. Now Jerry can quit right there if he wants to, or he can continue to draw in hopes of getting more action tokens. I think we're going to have Jerry just stop there. So we're going to place that Leatherface token into the barbecue tray, and then we're going to do our cleanup, and that will end Jerry's turn. And now it's Pam's turn. She's going to take her move actions that she has available. She has 2 of those. We'll have her move 1 and 2 into the same space as Franklin. Now she's going to make her draws. And here is the first token. And she draws Leatherface. So Leatherface will move one space towards, in this case, Jerry. And she can continue to draw if she chooses to. I think we'll try to do that. And she draws another Leatherface. Oh no, not good. Leatherface is going to move one space closer to Jerry. And I think Pam is going to end her turn. So we'll take those tokens, put them in the barbecue. Whoops, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Should not have revealed that. Put those in the barbecue tray, and then all those tokens go into the draw bag. That's going to end Pam's turn. We'll move on to Franklin. All right, Franklin is going to take his move actions. He'll move into this space, revealing the token. It's a move token. Put that in the tray. His second will be to move to the graveyard, revealing that token. That's pictures. Okay, we'll put that in the tray. All right, now Franklin is at the graveyard, and we'll see if he can draw an action token. His first token is Bones. Okay, he'll continue to draw. His next one is an action token. All right, I think he's going to stop there. That's enough for him to perform a search action with. So with his special ability, we can draw 2 cards from the search deck, and he can keep one, placing the other one on top of the deck. So Franklin will draw 2 search cards. Now you'll notice that on these cards there is a truck symbol in the upper corner. Now whenever the card is revealed, we have to move the truck one space along the highway. Now that truck space or icon on the card only counts for the first card that's drawn, so we only move the truck once. So the truck moves down the highway one space. Now if there was ever a character there, it's going to cause a blood splatter to us. If there was any of the Slaughter family there, it's going to permanently kill them, with the exception of Leatherface himself. If Leatherface gets run over by the truck, he's going to remove 1 token from his position on his board, and he'll return to the killing room. That's where the push action comes into effect. If we're on the space with a Slaughter family member or a character, or adjacent, we're able to push that character one space. And I think Franklin is going to take the sprint action. It says when spending an action on a move, discard this card to move your character up to 3 spaces. So I think he'll take that, and we'll place the Chainsaw Ballet card on the top of the deck. And that's going to end Franklin's draw phase. We'll place those tokens into the barbecue tray along with the other tokens, and all of those tokens will go back into the draw bag for the next turn. Next up is going to be Jerry. Jerry is within one space of Leatherface. Jerry's going to move, and he'll move, I think, towards here, revealing that space. That is a action token. We'll place that into the barbecue tray. He'll move an additional space to here, revealing another token. That's revealed to be another action token, so that's great. So those go into the barbecue tray. Now Jerry is able to draw some tokens from the bag. And we want to draw at least one, otherwise Leatherface would move automatically. So here's the first draw. And he gets pictures. All right, we'll see what that does. When we draw the pictures token, we're to look at the top card of the search deck, and we can choose to move it to the top or bottom of the deck. All right. Now we know what this search card is because of Franklin's search, and that is that Chainsaw Ballet. And I think we're going to place that on the bottom of the deck. Now, whenever we reveal a card, even if we're looking at it, those truck symbols will still apply. So the truck is going to move one space on the highway. We'll place the Chainsaw Ballet card at the bottom of the deck. So that truck will move one space down the highway. When it reaches the end of the track, it'll reset itself back at the top. Now Jerry can continue to draw, or he can end his draw there, and I think he will. So we're going to place that token into the barbecue tray and place the other two that are in the tray along with that new one into the bag. And that's going to end Jerry's turn. We'll move on now to Pam. Pam's trying to get to the stairs. So I think what we'll do is we'll have Pam take her 2 movement points. She's going to move 1 and 2 into this space, revealing that token. That's a Slaughter family token. So I think what we're going to do is use Pam's special ability. That allows her to, when she reveals a token, she can swap it with another token on the board without looking at it, and then the new token goes into the bag. And I think she'll do that. We don't necessarily want that Slaughter family token in the bag, so I'm going to replace that with the token over here on the board. And then this one will go into the bag unseen. So we don't know what that is. That could be the gas, it could be the keys, or it could be something else. All right, Pam is going to start her draw phase. And her first token is, oh boy, Leatherface. Okay, Leatherface is going to move 1 space towards closest character, which is Jerry. And I don't know if we should push our luck or not. There's quite a few action tokens in there. I think Pam will take a chance. And she draws an action token. That's good. I think we'll end it there. So Pam is going to continue. She's going to use that action token to perform a move action. She'll move here. And she reveals the gasoline. Unbelievable. That's her second objective token. We'll place that on her character sheet. That's great. So we'll place that next gas can on her sheet. Now you can only carry 2. We still need to find the keys. That's going to end Pam's turn. We'll place these tokens into the tray and then place everything into the draw bag. We'll move on now to Franklin. Franklin's going to take his 2 moves, and he's going to move here, and he reveals bones. We'll place those in the barbecue tray. His second move will be here, and he reveals more bones. All right, those are the 2 actions, 2 moves for Franklin. Now he can do his draws. He'll start with a draw. We're trying to get Franklin to the generator where he can do some more searching. Okay, here's his first token drawn. It's a move, or I should say an action token. We'll try to get 1 more. And he draws Leatherface. Okay, Leatherface is going to move towards Jerry. Well, Franklin could continue to draw the bag if he chooses to. The problem is we've got Leatherface within 1 movement of Jerry, so we don't want to take a chance on drawing a Leatherface token. So I think what we'll do is we'll end Franklin's turn. We'll place these tokens into the barbecue tray, and he'll move one space to the generator. And he finds another movement or action token, so that's good. All right, we'll put those back into the bag, and we'll start a new round with Jerry. All right, Jerry is up, and he has 2 movement points, so we'll have him move here. And he's got a action token. And then he'll move one more, I think, over to here, and we'll check that one out. And that is a Slaughter Family token. Now, he has a special ability. When Jerry draws a Slaughter Family token, he may return it to the bag, return it back to the bag and draw again. Well, that's only when he's drawing out of the bag, I guess. Okay, so that one has to go into the barbecue tray. All right, now Jerry is going to make his draws. And we need to get another character with Jerry to the diner, and then that would fulfill his objective. So we'll see what happens with this draw here. Here's his first draw. And he gets pictures. Okay, well, that is, he gets to look at the top card of the search deck, and he can choose to put it on the top or bottom. That card is Desperation. So we're going to move the truck on the highway one space down for that icon. It says discard this card during a push action to move the character up to 3 spaces. I think that's a pretty good card. We'll leave that up on top. So we'll put that on top of the search deck, and the token will remain out there for now, and I think he'll continue to draw. Next token is another Pictures. Well, we know what that card is on the search deck, but every time we look at it, it moves the truck, so the truck will move another space on the highway. And I think Jerry will try one more draw. And he gets Bones. Well, I think we're not going to push it for right now, so I'm going to end Jerry's turn. We'll put these tokens into the barbecue tray, and then in turn, those are going to go into the bag. All right. All right, Pam is up next, and she needs to get to the stairs to collect the token from the stairs to complete her objective. So I think we'll have her move 1, revealing that token. That's an action token. That's good. And 2, we'll have her move here, revealing another action token. Great. All right, I think what we're going to try to do is get a few actions for Pam. One to get onto the window, and another one to get into the bone room, and then eventually into the stairs. Now, you can break through a window, but that's going to cause a wound to her, so we don't necessarily want to do that. If we move onto the window or the door, we don't take any damage. So she's going to start her draw phase. Now, we have a few extra action tokens in there from last round, so we'll see if we can get lucky. Here's the first one. And she gets a Slaughter Family token. When drawn, place it on the Slaughter Family chart. Fill the chart starting with Grandpa. Okay, so we'll place that, and we got to place that upside down. So we place that token in the next character slot upside down on Grandpa. When we get one more, Grandpa's going to come on the board, and he'll go in the dining room. Pam's going to continue to draw, and she gets Leatherface. Okay, he's going to move towards Jerry. So he's within 1 space of Jerry. So I think we're going to quit there. And we'll take those tokens and put them into the barbecue tray, and then add all those tokens into the draw bag. And that's going to end Pam's turn. We'll move on to Franklin. All right, Franklin's going to take his 2 movement points. He'll move here, revealing Leatherface. It goes into the tray. He'll take his second movement and move here, and that reveals another Leatherface. Not good. All right, now it's time for Franklin's draws. Now, we have to draw at least 1, otherwise Leatherface is going to move. So we'll see what happens. Here's the draw. He gets an eye. The eye says, when drawn, flip over one face down token on the board. Draw 3 and your turn ends. Okay, well, I guess what we should probably do, we're looking for the keys. So we want to find out where the keys might be, and I think it might be best served for us to check some of the places in the house, because if we don't have to be in there, we don't want to. So I'll check out the dining room. Dining room is an action token. We'll leave that face up. All right, I think we will end the turn there for Franklin. We don't want to push Leatherface into attacking Jerry. So we'll end the turn there, and we'll place those tokens in the bag. All right, Jerry is up next. He's got his 2 moves, and I think we'll try to get some distance from Leatherface. So he'll move here, 1, revealing the token, and that is Bones, and 2 to the abandoned car area, and that is a Slaughter family token. All right, those go into the barbecue tray. Now Jerry has to draw. If we can get an action for him, he could gain a search. He's on a named space, so here is his draw. He does. He's got an action. So I think what we'll do is we're going to end it right there. Jerry's going to use his action, and he's going to draw the search card, and he gets that desperation card. Discard this card during a push action to move the character up to 3 spaces. Discard this card after use. It's a good card, and we might need that in the future. So we'll give that to Jerry, and then we'll do our cleanup, and that's going to end the turn. Go on to Pam. All right, Pam has 2 moves available. She's going to move onto the window and into the bone room, and we'll see what's there. And it's bones. Okay, so we'll put that into the barbecue tray. And now Pam is going to make a draw, and if she can get to the stairs, she'll be able to get that token, and that would complete her objective. Okay, here is the choosing of the token, and it is an action token. That is great. We'll do that. We'll have Pam move 1 space, getting what's on the stairs. She's got the keys. Amazing. But unfortunately, she can't pick them up. She has both of her slots filled with gasoline, so the keys will have to stay there, and someone else will have to pick them up. All right, well, she's completed her objective, so we'll turn that over. And we'll end her turn, and we'll place these tokens into the barbecue tray. The keys will remain there, and someone's going to have to do a pickup action. And now it's Franklin's turn. I think we'll try to get him into the house so he can pick up those keys. So he'll take his movement action, 1 and 2, onto the window. And then he's going to start making his draws from the draw bag. We can get a couple movement actions. We can get him to the stairs. Okay, here's the first one, and that is Bones. Okay, here's the next one. And that is an action token. That's great. All right. Here is his 3rd selection, and that is Bones. So if we get 1 more Bones, we're going to have to stop. I think we'll try 1 more. And we get an action token. All right, I think we're going to quit there. So Franklin has 2 actions. I think what we'll do is have him do a move action into Grandma's room. So he'll reveal that token for Grandma. And that is a Slaughter family token. All right, that is going to go out onto their board, and that's going to go onto the cook's spot. All right. And for his next action, he's going to move onto the stairs with Pam, and that is as far as he can get. He'll have to do a pickup action in order to pick up those keys. Technically, I think better yet, rather than having him move to the stairs, he'll stay in Grandma's room, and he'll use his, instead of moving, he'll use a pickup action. You can pick up items that are adjacent or in the same space. So he'll take the keys. Using that action, he'll stay in Grandma's room. So we'll add the keys to Franklin's card. And now we have all of the escape items we need. We just need to complete our objectives. Pam has already completed hers, And so far, Franklin has completed his. He's got that surprisingly bloodless objective. Finish the game with one or less blood splatter on his character. So right now he has none. So the only problem now is Jerry. We have to get Jerry to the diner with another character. All right, we're going to end the turn for Franklin there, and we'll continue on with Jerry. And I think Jerry is going to remain where he is. He won't move. So he will go right to his draw phase, and we'll see what happens. I'd like to get him a action token where he can pull a search at the abandoned cars area. Okay, here is the token. It is bones. We'll have him draw another one. And that one is an action token. That's good enough. So I think what we will do is we'll stop there, and Jerry's going to draw a search card. And that's help. Okay, that's going to move the truck on the highway down one. It says if a character is adjacent to another character, discard this card to transfer one blood splatter to the other player. Discard the card. Okay, we'll have that given to Jerry. These tokens will go back into the bag, and that'll end his turn. All right, Pam is up next. So she just needs to get to the van. She's got both cans of gas. She's going to move one into the bone room and two onto the window. And now she'll start her draw phase. First one is an action token. I think we'll continue. We'll have her draw again. And she gains Leatherface. Okay, Leatherface is going to move to the closest character, and that's going to be Jerry, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so he'll move one towards Jerry. I think she's going to stop there, and I'll have Pam take the action and move one space. And then these tokens will go back into the bag, and we'll continue on with Franklin. Franklin has the keys, so I think Franklin is going to make his moves. Now he needs to try to get to Jerry so both of them can be at the diner to complete his objective. I'm not sure how we're going to do that. Well, he's going to move two spaces, so I think what we'll do is we'll have him move one onto the window and two to that location. And he's going to start doing some draws. Okay, here is the first draw for Franklin. Gets an action. Okay, we'll have him draw one more. And it's bones. Have him draw again. And it is an action. That's great. We'll stop there. Franklin's going to take the two actions. He'll move 1 and 2, and he'll reveal that token. That's an eye. Okay, that goes into the barbecue tray. We'll end his turn there, and all of these tokens go into the bag. All right, Jerry is up next. He's at the abandoned cars, and I think what we'll do is we'll keep Jerry at the location he's at, so we won't move him, and he's just going to start making some draws there. What I want to do is get eventually Franklin over to Jerry's position, and then they can both move to the diner to complete the objective for Jerry. In the meantime, I think what we might do is try to get Pam a little closer to Leatherface, and then maybe he'll draw off some of the attention onto Pam, and then she can make her way towards the van. We'll see how that goes. Okay, here's Jerry's first draw, and he gets an action token. All right, that is enough for him to draw a search card, and I think that's what he'll do. So he'll stop drawing, he'll spend that action as a search, and he gains the card, Check on the Meat. When this card is drawn, you must move Leatherface to the killing room. Discard this card. All right, the truck is going to move. That will reset it to the top of the track on the highway. And Leatherface is going to move to the killing room. All right. That kind of helps us actually a little bit. So that card is discarded. That's going to end Jerry's turn. And we'll move on now to Pam. All right, Pam's going to take her 2 move actions. And I think we'll have her move 1 and 2. And then she's going to make a draw. See what she gets. And she gets bones. Okay, we'll have her draw again. Bones again. I guess we'll try a 3rd draw. And she gets bones. That's going to end her draw phase. All the tokens will go back into the bag. And we'll move on now to Franklin's turn. All right, Franklin will make his 2 move actions. He'll move 1 here, revealing the token bones. Take his 2nd action, moving here, revealing photographs. Okay, now he's going to make his draws. And we'll see what we get. Okay, here's Franklin's first draw. And he gets an action, and I think we're going to quit there. He's going to use a move action. He'll move, and he'll add the Slaughter family token into the barbecue tray. And then he's going to play a card called Sprint. And he's got the card Sprint. When spending an action on a move, discard this card to move your character up to 3 spaces. So we'll do that. So we'll move him 3 spaces. 1, 2, and 3 to the diner, which is where we need to get eventually. Jerry reveals the token to be bones. All right, we'll add those tokens to the draw bag, and we'll move on now to Jerry's turn. Okay, Jerry will take his moves. He'll move 1 and 2 into the diner, and that's going to complete his Who Wants Barbecue. Get to the diner with 1 other character. So we've completed all of the objectives so far. So as long as Franklin doesn't take more than 2 wounds, or more than 1 wound, I guess, we're going to complete our objectives and we'll win the game. All right. Jerry's going to make a draw, and he gets an action. All right, I think we're going to end it there. No sense pushing it. We'll have him do a move action. He'll move to this location. Token is replaced into the bag, and we'll move on now to Pam's character. All right, Pam is going to take her move actions. She'll move 1 and 2. Now she'll start a draw. And she gets Leatherface. Okay, Leatherface is going to move 1 to the closest character. And let's see which one that would be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be Jerry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to Pam. So it'll be towards Jerry. So he'll move busting through the door into the dining room with Grandpa. So we've got a busted door now. All right. And I think Pam's going to try one more draw. And she gets another Leatherface. That's it. So he's going to bust through the window and out into the yard. So the window's busted out and Leatherface is on the move. We'll end the turn there for Pam. Pick up the tokens. Those go in the bag. Now we'll move on to Franklin. All right, Franklin's going to take his 2 moves, 1 and 2. And he'll take a draw. And he gets bones. Well, there's no reason to really push this. So I think we'll end it there. Token will go back into the bag and we'll move on to Jerry's turn. Jerry has his moves first, so he'll start out with 2 moves. 1 and 2, he's at a bramble. Now he's going to take some draw tokens. If we can get a couple of moves, we could get Jerry hopefully out of those brambles. Okay, first one is bones. Next one is bones. Another draw. And bones. That's going to end Jerry's round. Tokens will go back into the bag. And we'll move on to Pam's turn. Now Jerry is on a bramble, so he is going to take a blood marker on his card. So we'll place that on Jerry's card. That's his second. Now what happens is you can have as many of those blood splatters on your card as you want. But if you've got all three filled up, you not only lose your free move actions, but if Leatherface attacks you and you've already got 3 or more blood splatters, you go onto the hook in the killing room. All right, Pam is up next. She's going to move 1 and 2 into the brambles, and she's going to make some draws. Okay, we'll try to get a couple action tokens for her. She's got bones. And she's got bones. And she gets an action token. We're going to continue. We'll see if we can get an extra action. And she's got Leatherface. So Leatherface is going to move to the closest character. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he can move to either Pam or towards Franklin. I think I'll have him move towards Pam. Okay, and she's going to draw again. She gets an eye. And when you draw one of those, you can flip over a face down token on the board. And let's just see what's happening in the metal door room. That's a Leatherface token. All right. She's going to continue on. We'll have another draw. She gets bones. That's the third bones. Now she has 1 action. She'll use that to move. She's in the brambles, so she's going to take her second wound. So we place the second wound on Pam. All right, Franklin is up next. He has the keys. He'll make his movement of 2, 1 and 2, and then we'll see if he can get some draws. He pulls an action. Well, the problem with that is we can't have him go on these brambles. He'll be taking too many wounds that way. So I think what we'll do is we will end our draw there, and I just will not use the action that we have. And we'll end his turn. Jerry is up next. So we'll have Jerry move 1, 2, and then Jerry's going to make some draws, and we'd like to get 1, 2, 3 at least for him to get out of the brambles, or 2 even. Here's his first one. He's got an action. Okay, we'll continue drawing. He's got an action. We'll take the 2 actions and stop there. So he's going to move 1 and 2, going into that space, revealing a Slaughter family token. All right. He's not in the brambles. We'll end his turn. The tokens will go into the bag. All right, Pam is up next. She has her 2 moves, 1 and 2. She's back at the van with 2 cans of gas. So all we need now is for Franklin to get to the van, and we'll win the game, provided that he does not have more than 1 blood splatter on his card. Now Pam still has to make a draw from the bag, otherwise Leatherface will move. And she gets the Slaughter family. That is going to go on to the cook, and that's going to be his second token. So we place that token face down in the cook's area. When the cook comes on the board, if he gets 1 more, he'll start at the diner, and then every time that a Slaughter family token is drawn, he's going to move clockwise around the board from named location to named location. And if he catches up with a character, he sends him to the dining room where Grandpa is. That's going to end Pam's turn. We'll move on to Franklin. He has his 2 moves. And unfortunately, Leatherface is extremely close to him. Well, we'll see what our options are. Yeah, I think our best bet is just to take a chance, and we'll move him 1 and 2 into the brambles, and hopefully he won't remain there. So we'll make some draws for Franklin. The first one is an action. I think that's good enough. We'll have Franklin move 1 space using the action, and he's out of the brambles. That is great. That'll end his round. We'll move on to Jerry's turn. Jerry is up next. He has 2 movement. He'll move 1 and 2 into the brambles, and we'll see if he can get another action in his draw phase. Here's the first one. He gets Leatherface. Leatherface will move 1 space towards Franklin. Okay, here's another draw. And he's got an action. That's good. I think we'll take that. That will move him 1 space onto the highway, and we'll end the round there. That'll finish the turn for Jerry. We'll move on to Pam. Now Pam is currently at the van, so all she has to do is make 1 draw, otherwise Leatherface will move. So we'll put these tokens back in. Pam will remain at the van, and she'll make 1 draw. And she draws bones. Okay, that's fine. No problem there. That's going to end Pam's turn. We'll move on to Franklin. He'll make his 2 moves, 1 and 2. He's on a bramble, and we'll see if we can get a move for him. First token for Franklin is Leatherface. So he'll move 1 space towards them. Right, here's another draw. And he has the Slaughter family. That is going to bring the cook out on the board. So we place that token face down, and the cook will come into the diner. So we place the cook at the diner, and now he's going to move in a clockwise fashion every time a Slaughter family token is pulled from the bag. So he'll move from the diner to the abandoned cars, to the dry lake, to the generator, and so on. If he matches up with a character, they're sent to the dining room with Grandpa. And Franklin's going to continue to draw. He gets an action. That's all we need. He's going to move out onto the road. Tokens will be put back into the bag. That will end Franklin's turn. We'll move on to Jerry. Jerry's going to take his movement action that gets him to the van, and he'll make a draw. Actually, he doesn't have to. We are not going to draw. We're going to have Leatherface make a movement, I think. No, I think we'll make a draw. I was going to just have him move, but we don't want to do that unless we have to. Here's the draw for Jerry. At least we have a chance. And that's pictures. All right. Pictures will allow us to look at the top card of the search deck, and that is careful. Discard this card to take no blood splatter from moving through a broken window, and we got to move the truck. So that goes back on the top of the deck. The truck moves down. And that's going to finish Jerry's turn. Pam is up next, and she's going to remain where she is, so no movement, and she'll make a draw. She draws an action token. All right, she'll just not use the action, and we'll put that back into the bag. And now it's Franklin's turn. Franklin is going to move back to the van, and we've won the game. We've got the keys. We've got 2 cans of gas. So the whole group will get all into the van and drive away, and we've won the game. And that completes the game. I have to say that the game was fun to play, but it's not very deep. I noticed that the way to kind of control Leatherface is to make as few draws as possible, and not trying to push it too much. When Leatherface gets active when you try to push things too much. And I think that could be a little bit of a problem with the game. The components are excellent. Everything is, cardstock is very nice and thick. The board is well illustrated and in line with the theme of the movie. And the objectives and the search cards are interesting. And I like the Slaughter family board and how that works, but I think there might be a little bit of a problem in that if the characters just do the minimum amount of pulling of tokens from the bag, it definitely it makes the game a little too easy. So I'm thinking one solution might be is to mandate that each turn the characters have to do a minimum of, I don't know, 2 or 3 pulls from the bag. And that might be one way to offset this. There would be more chances of the Slaughter family characters coming into the game earlier, and that might be a solution to this. You could have it where if you make no pull from the bag, Leatherface will move, say, twice, and the minimum number of pulls that you would have to make would be, say, 2 or 3. And that might prompt this game to be a little bit more exciting. Whenever you're pulling from the bag, you don't know what's going to happen, and that might make the game a little bit more challenging. Now, they do have something that I didn't use in this playthrough called Slaughter Mode, and that says for very experienced players, you may choose to make the game more difficult by using this mode. Whenever you draw a Leatherface token, you must pull at least 1 additional token from the Hideous Draw bag before you may choose to stop drawing tokens for the turn. That might be enough by playing with Slaughter Mode to make the game challenging enough, but yet not overwhelming. So we'll have to experiment with that and see if that Slaughter Mode might be a fix to what we're proposing. And that's going to about wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining me at the Solo Gamers Club. I hope you enjoyed this setup and playthrough and review of Texas Chainsaw Massacre by Trick or Treat Studios. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon on the channel. Have a good evening.